The Peruvudaiyar Kovil, also known as Periya Kovil, Brihadeshwara Temple, RajaRajeswara Temple and Rajarajeswaram, at Thanjavur in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, is a Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva. It is an important example of Tamil architecture achieved during the Chola dynasty. The temple is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Great Living Chola Temples. This is one of the largest temples in India and one of India's most prized architectural sites. Built by Emperor Raja Raja Chola I and completed in 1010 AD, Peruvudaiyar Temple, also popularly known as the Big Temple, turned 1,000 years old in 2010. Thanjavur Periya Kovil stands amidst fortified walls that were probably added in the 16th century. The Vimanam is 216 ft high and is among the tallest of its kind in the world. The kumbum of the temple is carved out of a single rock and it weighs around 80 tons. There is a big statue of Nandi, carved out of a single rock, at the entrance measuring about 16 feet long and 13 feet high. The entire temple structure is made out of granite, the nearest sources of which are close to Tiruchirappalli, about 60 km to the west of Thanjavur. History. The temple had its foundations laid out by the Tamil Emperor Arulmozhivarman, popularly called Raja Raja Chola I, in 1002 CE, as the first of the great Tamil Chola building projects. The Brihadeshwara Temple was built to grace the throne of the Chola Empire in compliance to a command given to him in his dream. The scale and grandeur is in the Chola tradition. An axial and symmetrical geometry rules the temple layout. Temples from this period and the following 2 centuries are an expression of the Tamils' wealth, power and artistic expertise. The emergence of such features as the multifaceted columns with projecting square capitals signal the arrival of the new Chola style. The Brihadeeswarar Temple was built to be the royal temple to display the emperor's vision of his power and his relationship to the universal order. The temple was the site of the major royal ceremonies such as anointing the emperor and linking him with its deity, Shiva, and the daily rituals of the deities were mirrored by those of the king. It is an architectural example showcasing the pure form of the Dravida type of temple architecture and representative of the Chola Empire ideology and the Tamil civilization in southern India. The temple testified to the brilliant achievements of the Chola in architecture, sculpture, painting and bronze casting. Construction. The wish to build a mammoth temple like this is said to have occurred to Raja Raja while he stayed at Sri Lanka as an emperor. The esteemed architect and engineer of the temple was Kunjaramallan Raja Raja Peranthakan as stated in inscriptions found at the temple. The temple was built per ancient texts called Vasta Shastras and Agamas. He is the ancient ancestor of the doyen of Vasta Vedic architecture, the late Dr. V. Ganapati Sthapati of Chennai and Mahabalipuram. Members of his family still live and practice the ancient art and science. The American University of Myonic Science and Technology was initiated by Dr. V. Ganapati Sthapati to perpetuate the same form of architectural principles used by Kunjaramallan Raja Raja Peranthakan to build the Brihadeeswarar Temple. The temple was built using a measure of 1 3/8 inch called an angular. This is the same measure found in ancient Lothal and other sites in the Indus Valley dating back 4,000 to 6,000 years. This same measure is used to build structures compliant with the Vasta Shastras and Agamas today. While some builders use a different measure, this is considered a standard due to its antiquity. This temple is the first building fully built by granite and finished within 5 years, 1004 AD or 1009 AD. The solid base of the temple raises about 5 meters, above which stone deities and representatives of Shiva dance. The huge Kalasam or Vimanam is believed to weigh 81.28 tons of single stone block and was raised to its present height by dragging on an inclined plane of 6.44 km. The Big Nandi, weighing about 20 tons, is made of a single stone and is about 2 m in height, 6 meters in length and 2.5 meters in width. The presiding deity of Lingam is 3.7 meters tall. The prakaram measures 240 meters by 125 meters. The outer wall of the upper story is carved with 81 dance karanas or postures of Bharatanatyam, the classical dance of Tamil Nadu. The shrine of goddess was added by Pandyas during the 13th century. Subramanya Shrine by Vijayanagara rulers, and the Vinayaka Shrine was renovated by Maratha rulers. Temple Complex. The temple complex sits on the banks of a river that was channeled to make a moat around the complex's outer walls, the walls being built like a fortress. The complex is made up of many structures that are aligned axially. The complex can be entered either on one axis through a 5-story gopuram or with a second access directly to the huge main quadrangle through a smaller freestanding gopuram. The massive size of the main Vimanam is circa 60 meters high, with 16 elaborately articulated stories, and dominates the main quadrangle. Pilaster, piers, and attached columns are placed rhythmically covering every surface of the Vimanam. The gopuram of the main entrance is 30 m high, smaller than the Vimana. It is unusual in the Dravidian architecture where the gopurams are generally the main towers and taller than the Vimanam. Main Temple. A first rectangular surrounding wall, 270 m by 140 m, marks the outer boundary. The main temple is in the center of the spacious quadrangle composed of a sanctuary, a nandi, a pillared hall and an assembly hall, and many sub-shrines. The most important part of the temple is the inner mandapa, which is surrounded by massive walls that are divided into levels by sharply cut sculptures and pilasters providing deep bays and recesses. Each side of the sanctuary has a bay emphasizing the principal cult icons. The Karuvarai, a Tamil word meaning the interior of the sanctum sanctorum, is the innermost sanctum and focus of the temple where an image of the primary deity, Shiva, resides. Inside is a huge stone linga. The word Karuvarai means womb chamber from Tamil word karu for fetus. Only priests are allowed to enter this innermost chamber. In the Dravida style, the Karuvarai takes the form of a miniature Vimana with other features exclusive to southern Indian temple architecture such as the inner wall together with the outer wall creating a pradakshina around the Garbhagriha for circumambulation. The entrance is highly decorated. The inside chamber housing the image of the god is the sanctum sanctorum, the Garbhagriha. The Garbhagriha is square and sits on a plinth, its location calculated to be a point of total equilibrium and harmony as it is representative of a microcosm of the universe. In the center is placed the image of the deity. The royal bathing hall where Raja Raja the Great gave gifts is to the east of the hall of Irumadi. The circumambulation winds around the massive lingam in the Garbhagriha and is repeated in an upper story, presenting the idea that Chola Empire freely offered access to the gods. The inner mandapa leads out to a rectangular mandapa and then to a 20-columned porch with 3 staircases leading down. Sharing the same stone plinth is a small open mandapa dedicated to Nandi, Shiva's sacred bull mount. Temple deities. The Molavar, or prime deity of the Brihadeeswarar Temple is Shiva. All deities, particularly those placed in the niches of the outer wall like Dakshinamurthy, Surya, Chandra are of huge size. The Brihadeeswarar Temple is one of the rare temples which has idols for Ashtadikpalakas Indra, Agni, Yama, Nira to the first T, Varura to the first A, Vayu, Kibra, Aana each of whom was originally represented by a life-sized statue, approximately 6 feet tall, enshrined in a separate temple located in the respective direction. Adjoining structures. Surrounding the main temple are 2 walled enclosures. The outer wall is high, defining the temple complex area. Here is the massive gopuram or gateway mentioned above. Within this a portico, a barrel-vaulted gopuram with over 400 pillars, is enclosed by a high wall interspersed with huge gopurams axially lined up to the main temple. Features. Another widely held belief is that the shadow of the gopuram never falls on the ground. The temple is said to be made up of about 60,000 tons of sandstone and granite. The kumbum itself, a 60-ton granite stone carved in one piece, on top of the main gopuram is believed to have been taken to the top by creating an inclined slope with a height of 66 m to the top of the gopuram. The prevailing belief is that a mud slope, which starts at about 3 miles from the temple site, from Thirukoil or near Sri Varateshwara Temple portrays the figure of the Thanjavur Temple. Elephants might have been used to drag the stone up the slope. This was claimed to be the only part of the gopuram, which does not cast a shadow that fall on the ground, at least not within the temple premises, which is an architectural amazement in the world of architecture. Murals. The temple has cola frescoes on the walls around the Sanctum Sanctorum portraying Shiva in action, destroying demonic forts, dancing and sending a white elephant to transport a devotee to heaven. These frescoes were discovered in the 1940s and portray the mythological episodes of the journey of Saint Sanjara and the Chera king to heaven, the battle scene of Tripurantaka with Asuras. The kola artists have proved their mettle by portraying even the Asura women with a sense of beauty. Some of the paintings in the Sanctum Sanctorum and the walls in the passage had been damaged because of the soot that had deposited on them. Owing to the continuous exposure to smoke and soot from the lamps and burning of camphor in the Sanctum Sanctorum over a period of centuries, certain parts of the kola paintings on the circumambulatory passage walls had been badly damaged. The Thanjavur Nayak kings replaced them with a few paintings of their own, about 400 years ago. The Archaeological Survey of India, for the first time in the world, used its unique de stucco process to restore 16 Nayak paintings, which were superimposed on 1,000-year-old kola frescoes. These 400-year-old paintings have been mounted on fiberglass boards, displayed at a separate pavilion. Temple personnel. The temple was consecrated in 1010 CE by Raja Raja Chola I, and in 2010 a celebration commemorated the temple's 1000th anniversary. The temple maintained a staff of 1,000 people in various capacities, with 400 being temple dancers besides the Brahmin priests. These included record keepers, musicians, scholars, and craftsmen of every type, as well as housekeeping staff. In those days the temple was a hub of business activities for the flour, milk, oil, and ghee merchants, all of whom made a regular supply of their respective goods for the temple for its pujas and during festival seasons. Moreover, as evidenced by the inscriptions that found in the compound wall of this temple, the temple had always been serving as a platform for the dancers who excelled in the traditional dance form of Bharatanatyam. Valamathamanadi generation worshipped this temple. Millennium commemoration. Built in the year 1010 CE by Raja Raja Chola in Thanjavur, Brihadeeswarar Temple, popularly known as the Big Temple, turned 1,000 years old in September 2010. To celebrate the 1,000th year of the grand structure, the state government and the town held many cultural events. It was to recall the 275th day of his 25th regal year when Raja Raja Chola handed over a gold-plated kalasam for the final consecration to crown the Vimana, the 59.82-meter-tall tower above the sanctum. Bharatanatyam Yaja. To mark the occasion, the state government organized a Bharatanatyam Yaja, classical dance show under noted dancer Padma Subramaniam. It was jointly organized by the Association of Bharatanatyam Artists of India and the Brihan Natyanjali Trust, Thanjavur. To mark the 1,000th year anniversary of the building, 1,000 dancers from New Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Singapore, Malaysia and the US danced in concert to the recorded 11 verses of divine music Tharuvaklapa composed by Kayuvatheva named Tiruvazepa. The small town turned into a cultural hub for 2 days beginning September 26, 2010, as street performers and dancers performed throughout the town. Commemorative stamps and coins. On September 26, 2010, as a recognition of Big Temple's contribution to the country's cultural, architectural, epigraphical history, a special 5-postage stamp featuring the 216 feet tall giant Raja Gopuram was released by India Post. The Reserve Bank of India commemorated the event by releasing a 5 coin with a model of temple embossed on it. A Raja, Cabinet Minister of Communications and Information Technology, released the esteemed Brihadeeswarar Temple's special stamp, the first of which was received by G.K. Vasan, Cabinet Minister of Shipping. Mumbai Mint issued a Rs1000 commemorative coin with the same picture as on the Rs5 coin. It was the first 1,000 rupees coin to be released in the Republic of India coinage. This coin was a non-circulative legal tender. On April 1, 1954, the Reserve Bank of India released a 1,000 currency note featuring a panoramic view of the Brihadeeswarar Temple, marking its cultural heritage and significance. In 1975, The then government led by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi demonetized all 1,000 currency notes in an effort to curtail black money. These notes are now popular among collectors. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, M. Karunanidhi renamed semi-paddy, a type of high-productivity paddy variant, as Rajarajan 1000 to mark the millennial year of the constructor of the temple, Raja Raja Chola I. Brihadeswara Temple and historic novels. Balakumaran has written a novel Udayar themed on the life of Raja Raja Chola I and the construction of the Brihadeeswarar Temple. Kalki has also written a novel Ponniyin Selvan based on the life of Raja Raja Chola I. There is widespread belief that a visit to the temple has politically disastrous implications. The claim is supported by a few events. A visit to the temple for an event related to King Raja by former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi along with the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu M.G. Ramachandran in 1984 was followed by bad course of events later for both the leaders. Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated by her own bodyguards in October that year, and MGR fell seriously ill with a stroke. Following the taboo, Karunanidhi visited the site of the fire accident via the side entrance. He denied the report stating he does not subscribe to the belief. He also added that he had used a side entrance to the temple instead of the main one while visiting the accident spot, the way by which he was escorted by police officials. Contrary to belief, he believed he had scored resounding political victories after his earlier visits to the temple. See also, Raja Raja Chola I Chola dynasty, notes. References. External links. Photos on Art and Archaeology website, UNESCO Great Living Chola Temples.